Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome to RBCM at Home Kids. My name is Chris O'Connor, and I'm a learning program developer at the Royal BC Museum. The museum and my home is on the territory of the Lekwungen-speaking people, the Songhees and Esquimalt nations here in Victoria on Vancouver Island. I'm an uninvited guest on this territory and grateful to live, learn, and raise a family on this land. And I also wanted to mention that this has been a difficult week for lots of people around the province with flooding and rains. And so I hope that everyone is safe out there and taking care of yourself and taking care of your community as well. So I just wanted to extend that to everyone. So today's session, so during the COVID-19 pandemic, Port Coquitlam student Insiyah Dharsee started painting rocks to help settle her anxieties over what was happening, as well as to inspire the community with the words spoken by Bonnie Henry. These colorful rocks with uplifting statements helped Insiyah raise funds to purchase Zaki hugs, which are soft, and we'll see them in a little bit, but they're soft, artificial hands to comfort premature babies or preemies. For the neonatal intensive care unit at Royal Columbian Hospital. Some of the rocks Insiyah made will also be donated to the history collection at the Royal BC Museum. So for it, yes, I know. I'm really excited about that too.
Yes.
So for this session of RBCM at Home, we're honored to have Insiyah and her mother Rubina as guests. So welcome to both of you. We're
Thank
so
you.
happy to have you here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And so my first question to you, Insiyah, is, well, I wanted to say, because this started, at least with rocks, painting rocks, started with the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. That was a really difficult time for lots of people as school was closing and needing to be at home, and everyone was needing to be at home. What do you remember about that time and that transition for you? What was that like for you? And Rubina, feel free to answer that as well for as a mother and just for yourself as well. What was that time like when the pandemic first hit?
So it was a very unusual time. It came very suddenly. I think none of us really thought we would go through something like this. We were preparing for a trip, leaving on March 7th for a 5-week trip to Dubai and India, and then cancel that. And basically everything just rotated around watching the news, and that's what we just watched and kind of, waited and just followed public health and over and over again, and then just texted friends, and it was just all very overwhelming, right? And then I think Insiyah can talk about what happened when she was watching the news, right? Yeah, tell her.
So it was also very an unusual time. It was very difficult, especially at school where everything had changed to online school. It was very difficult because it was hard to keep up. But as I was watching the news, I saw Dr. Bonnie Henry, and with her soothing voice on the news, she said, "Be kind, be calm, and be safe." And the words just stuck in my head. And I wrote them on a sticky note and I placed it on my computer. So every time I went to my computer, I saw the message. And then I took a rock and I painted it with a toothpick. I dipped some nail polish with the toothpick, and then I started painting different symbols and stuff on the rocks. And I just noticed it start to just fade away. Like I I wasn't really good at painting rocks because I was like just just starting, but I just feel like I wanted to place the words "be kind, be calm, and be safe" somewhere. And I just had an idea. What if I put it on a rock? And then and then I bought paint supplies and got new and then I started getting a hang of painting rocks professionally. And and then And then I realized I could paint to be kind, be calm, and be safe on the rocks. And after that, I couldn't stop painting anymore because I just thought it was just such a great thing that I was doing. And it took my mind away from what was going on in the world, like the pandemic.
So
And
what was it about the rocks? So you went from post-it notes on your computer to rocks. Was it um, what inspired you to use rocks rather than paper?
so there was this one rock that my preschool teacher gave me, and
Mhm.
I had it for a very long time. I was like moving it around everywhere. I just kept looking at it every time. And then that kind of sort of gave me inspiration to
Mm.
paint on the rock.
Mhm.
And it also kind of started from how my preschool teacher, she was also like an artist, and she also inspired me to do to paint rocks.
Mm.
And that just kind of led me to paint rocks and
Ah.
write the message on the rocks.
So that first rock was comforting because it was connected to this person that was important to you.
Yeah.
And then painted. Do you still have that rock? And what
Yes.
you, so that was the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was a very fun, like it was an unusual rock. It was shaped like a triangle,
Like a
and then
heart.
like a heart,
Yeah.
almost like
Oh,
a heart.
Yeah.
nice.
And
Oh,
then it
nice. So,
had colored dots. Yeah.
Yeah.
so both the story of it connected to your
Mhm.
teacher, but then also the shape of it made it feel like comforting, just the heart shape of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, nice. So then you started to paint more on rocks and then where did you take it from there?
And I started, as I like started painting more and more rocks, I wanted to give them to my friends and to my family members, and I also gave them to my teachers, and they absolutely loved them.
Hmm.
Oh,
And
nice.
like they just really enjoyed the message, and they also liked how each message can give like a like some like an indication of like be kind to everyone, and in return you will receive kindness,
Right.
and be calm, to remain calm, and we will get through this together, and to be
Hmm.
safe even through this difficult time. We have to acknowledge the health orders and Dr. Bonnie Henry.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So that's really interesting. So that that first rock that was connected to someone that you care about, your educated the teacher, but
Yeah.
then the rocks that you're giving to people, they're reading these really important messages, but also they know it's from you and they care about you too. So there's connection between the words, but also with the person that gave it to them as well, I would imagine. Is that true?
Yes. And also we found when we left the rocks on the park and when we were walking on a field or anywhere, and when we went after a day or two, they would disappear. So
Mm.
India would say, look, like the rocks are gone, right? And
Uh,
I said, oh, that's a good, at first we thought, okay, like how come everybody's taking them because they're supposed to be enjoyed.
yeah,
And then someone said, you know what? They're liking the rocks. That's why they're
yeah,
taking them. And I said, wow, okay. So we just started painting even more. We put a table outside, gave my husband some Coke Zero and peanuts.
oh yeah.
And he just went crazy. He's a left-hander, but we just no writing allowed, just painting, right? And he
Nice.
went crazy. And all we did is peanuts from Walmart, stocked up on those. And he was just like enjoying that, right?
Oh, nice.
And then afterwards, me and Insiyah would take over the writing and
Mm,
the decorating of it. But basically, it was more the writing that we wanted there, and we started providing little stand with the
mm.
rock, so people would
Like they
put it
would
on
place
their
them on their
desks.
desks. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Would go to the doctor's offices, and they would be there on the counter, and we would
Oh
get a
wow.
lot of emails saying, "Can you please make this color for us?"
Oh wow.
And and the
So requests for different
yes,
different
yes,
kinds.
yes.
And then so at some point, it seems like the, did you have an idea that maybe because people really like this, that there would be an opportunity to maybe raise some funds for an important cause? What
Mhm.
was that? What was that shift or transition for you?
So I started painting. I started collecting donations for the rocks
Mm.
in last year, and I painted rocks and I collected donations in any amount. And I collected $1,000, which was for to buy Christmas decorations for the seniors home.
Oh, nice.
And for I wanted to donate to the seniors home because I remember when I went to my scouts, I went to volunteer there with my scouts to help the seniors put up ornaments and Christmas ornaments. And I realized that some of the ornaments and decorations looked old and tarnished. And I thought that they should be getting, like, better ornaments
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they should be enjoying them. And
Right.
I just realized that why don't I get new and fresh ornaments for the seniors home?
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's incredibly kind and thoughtful of you. I would imagine, especially at a seniors home where um, they spend so much time in that space, that
Yeah.
any kind of gesture like that is really meaningful and really, really kind and generous to think about how to make their environment more friendly and and warm and comforting for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
I think also what started it is when Insiyah took the ornament box to one of the ladies, one of the senior, this cute lady. She took too long to pick an ornament, and
oh,
I was watching from a distance, thinking, why is it taking so long, because she would pick. They were supposed to pick an ornament, and the scout who was helping them would go hang it on the tree for them because these seniors were in the wheelchair, so they were all in a circle, and the tree was in the middle. So I thought, why is she taking so long? And then later I asked Insiyah, how come it took so long? She said, Mom, she couldn't pick from the box because they were
yeah.
all, half of them were broken. She
Mm,
couldn't pick a good one, right?
right,
So I think that's what inspired Insiyah to donate to the senior home,
right.
the ornaments and some other decorations.
So with the senior home, I'm thinking of people that are toward the end of their life, and then you were also thinking about people in the very beginning of their life as well. So
Mhm.
at hospitals and especially premature babies. What was that change for you, or what inspired you to think about how to support the work that's happening within hospitals through the rocks as well?
So the second fundraiser was like really an amazing story,
Mm,
and which I'm very surprised of because every year I get to visit the NICU
mm,
in the hospital. And last year I paid my annual visit to the NICU to the Royal Columbian Hospital, and that's where I met Dr. Chislek last year.
mm.
And but unfortunately, he couldn't take me inside the NICU because of COVID protocols.
Right.
But I gave him a rock that said, "Be kind, be calm, and be safe."
Mm.
And in return, he gave me a $20 bill.
Oh.
Yeah. And as my mother and I went walking, when we walked to our car, he told me, "The one thing I wanted for you when you were born was a Zaki hug, but they
Mm.
only had one pair." And I was like, "What is a Zaki hug? Like that, what is that?" And I realized that, so this is a Zaki hug. And I went home and I researched what a Zaki hug was. And I found out that a Zaki hug is a surrogate pillow shaped hand that gently rests on the baby in the incubator while they're asleep. And this is a way for babies to feel comforted where while their parents or their guardian or like where their mother or father is not there to hold them. And this can also help the baby grow as well. And yeah, and it's just so amazing. And and to my surprise, I was able to purchase 24 pairs of Zaki hugs for each bed in the hospital's NICU.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, because I raised $5,067, and I was also able to get a waterless bottle warmer as well.
Wow. That's amazing. So they had one when you were born, And now they have one for every bed.
So Insiyah was born, just to add to this, she was born at 26 weeks, weighed 1 pound 6 ounces.
Wow.
So she stayed in the hospital 4 months. So one day when you're supposed to scrub your hands before you enter the NICU, and I was washing my hands, and I saw one of the moms passing with the Zaki hug and putting it on her child. So I asked the nurse, and the nurse said, "Oh, it was donated to us years ago, and I'm sorry, we only have one pair." So, and then I said, "Okay, that's fine." And then when Insiyah went to Dr. Cheeslek, he gave her $20. One thing led to the other.
Yeah,
So I
right.
walked into the car and I said, "Oh, one thing I wanted, I didn't get." And she said, "Oh, how much was it?" I said, $125 US for the pair. And she said, "Let's just start collecting.
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." We got hold of the lady, the doctor that invented it. She's from Texas. Her name's Dr. Yamil Jackson. Her son was born at 2 pounds, and she would fill a rubber glove stuffed, sleep with it, and leave it with her baby.
Mm.
And Zaki monitor beeped the less from everybody else. Then after 3 years, she's an engineer, so she invented this after 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And as a parent myself, and my kid was in the hospital in Vancouver in Insiyah. My kid was in for about 4 months as well after they were born.
Yes.
I remember so many times just sitting by the bed and just with my arm and my partner's arm. We had no idea that there would be something like that, but it would have been such an amazing thing to have when times when we weren't able to be there. So just speaking as a parent myself, I'm just so grateful for your effort to provide that for all the families that are in, because it's such a hard time to be in a NICU like that. So to have that kind of support is really an amazing thing.
Yeah,
So
and I
thank
think
you.
the
So thank you.
biggest thing was leaving the child there and just going home, right?
Yeah.
And not knowing you're not leaving anything behind. So leaving even a Zaki hug there that has your scent in it, because parents sleep with it and then bring it in, and the baby can smell the mother's scent in it. So
Right.
just having that there and you going home, it gives you an assurance that you've left something there of yours with the baby.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it to have that kind of that we don't think of the power of smell for a baby, but that's like one of the most important things, right?
True. Yes, very true.
Mm-hmm. So, Insiyah, prior to this, I'm just also really inspired by your passion for volunteering and for helping out the community. Had you done a lot of volunteering or a lot of work within the community prior to this?
Yes. I started volunteering at my mosque. At a very young age, at the age of 6 years old, and I would pass water to the seniors, and I could see a little sparkle in their eyes and a little smile. And I'd also always greet seniors. I like it's always there, has been like there for me. Like I've always liked helping other people. It's always been in my community, in my mosque, and it just feels more like I have like a connection when I help people. So it's just how that really made me have an idea and an aspect of volunteering as a good thing, and it benefits the community and also benefits ourselves too.
Right. And Rubina, is that something that, as a parent, that you, from an early age, also tried to instill in Sia the
Yes,
importance of volunteering?
definitely. I would encourage any parents watching today, um, get kids involved at a young age, just the way you drive them to soccer, hockey games, they get better at sports. You take them to school to learn math, English, right? Same way, just exactly the same way to make them a better human. You need to expose them to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's little bit, just be involved with them, do it with them, okay? There's a good program called Adopt a Spot, where you can adopt a street. They
Mm.
put your family name on it. They give you buckets, gloves, the picking the litter. Just walk around with them, pick stuff.
Mm.
Um, Go to the food bank as a family if they're young, like sort out food. Because what I find is kids that volunteer are calmer, you know, because they've made a connection with other people in the giving aspect of it instead of being it's all about
Mm.
me. And it just exposes them to different ways, appreciate life. um, and also I find they right now it's such a difficult time where we just need to change our focus, where I think the pandemic also brought in a lot of realization
Mm.
that we need to help each other. There's people that are in difficult time, and you know what? Like, you don't have to have money to help someone. You know, it's not like that. You take out your money from the bank and go help some. No, you can help by doing a service.
Mm.
You can help by asking big organizations to donate. You know, and you'll only receive two answers. Either it's yes or no, that yes, we can donate, or no, we cannot.
Right.
There's no third answer, right? But
Right.
if you don't ask, you don't know. Just the other
Yeah.
day, a good example is a month ago in Insiyah Rogers. I'm looking for some iPads. I want to donate to, I think, kids with what? SMA?
Yeah.
SMA, right?
Mm.
And we didn't hear from them for 3 months. Suddenly we got an email. Yes, we do have 3 iPads for you.
Oh wow.
So it
Yeah.
was just asking, because you know
Yeah.
what? Those big organizations, they can write off stuff, right? They can include it in their text. So it's just a matter of getting your kid involved in little things for start as a family. Then
Yeah.
slowly they can, as they grow, they can do it on their own, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it was made me think about like could be like within the family, within the neighborhood, within your
Anything.
mosque,
Yes,
within the larger community, and then to a place like a hospital where there's
yes.
Yeah.
like the impact is even more and more and more. So it's just really inspiring, and I know that. I would imagine that all the seniors that you helped in SIA, just like it must feel so good for them to see someone like you being so kind and generous
Mhm.
to them. So
Mhm.
I'd love to see some of the rocks and
Mhm.
maybe like how we can how maybe we as viewers can maybe do some of that at home too.
Okay, so
Yeah. So this is, I recommend getting a, just like a flat rock, and washing it with warm and soapy water and letting it dry. And also after that, after letting it dry, to also soak it in just regular water, and it'll just make the rock nice and fresh.
And it looks pretty smooth too, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it just takes out any sand or anything, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of stuck on it.
Where do you collect your rocks, Cynthia?
So we started at the river.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering because it's
Yeah.
so smooth that it made me think of river rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the river rocks are the good ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you paint it white.
Yeah. We paint it white, at
Okay.
least 2 coats of white paint, so
Okay.
it can make the color. If you want to paint any color on it, it'll make the color pop more.
And what kind of paint are you using?
So
I think I can show you. You can
Like
compare.
acrylic
yeah,
paint?
yeah,
Yes.
yes, just it's acrylic paint.
Oh, okay.
This is one of my
Oh,
favorite rocks.
yeah, that's beautiful.
And I also gave Dr. Bonnie Henry my rocks as well.
Uh-huh.
Guess what our favorite colors are?
Is it that?
No.
No,
Oh no?
Yeah.
it's purple and pink.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, and I gave her two rocks, each of the color, and she
Yeah.
was very happy when she
I
got.
was gonna say, did she let you know what she thought of them?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
sent us a picture of hers holding both the
yeah,
rocks.
Oh, great.
She loved them. In fact, she had received quite a few rocks from kids, but
Yeah.
all of them had different stuff painted on it. But this was the only one that had the saying.
Yeah.
She said, I'm going to treasure this for a long time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then, yeah, there's one small one here. So basically, like it's just here, and then there's a
Oh,
silver
yeah.
one here.
Oh, so nice.
um,
So when we gave out the rocks, we would give out with a little the stand. So what happens is it just oops, just sits on the desk,
Oh, yeah.
right? So it was such a nice like people
Right.
would put it on the desk, and it's just a reminder. A lot of people working from home.
Yeah.
So Insiyah gave it to a lot of her classmates as well. And some of them just wanted one word on it instead of everything. So another one would be like this one here. It just says, be
Be
kind.
kind. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And a lot of them asked for, I think, be calm.
be calm.
Be
Yeah,
calm.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
calm was a popular
yeah,
one.
Right.
They all like,
I need that too sometimes. So.
yeah,
yeah,
we're going to mail you one. Don't let us
Okay.
know what color you
yeah,
want. Yeah.
yeah.
um, it makes me think of Insia. You were saying at the beginning that you put it on post-it notes on your computer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That like it's so lovely to see the rock in that like propped up like that, like
Yeah,
right next to their work area. It's really a beautiful thing. So.
And you know what? This is going to be like something we can treasure, right?
Hmm.
For years to come. We've made
Yeah.
a COVID box,
memory box.
Yeah.
memory box,
Yeah,
where
Oh,
we're putting
nice.
all the letters we've received. The mayor recently gave Insiyah an award for doing a lot of community work and making a donation to the
Right.
NICU.
Yeah.
And just it's something we're going to look back, we're
Yeah.
going to look back to the rock and say, um, we all made it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all made it.
yeah,
Yeah, really speak to this moment. But then also that phrase, be kind, be calm, be safe, even
Mhm.
after the pandemic, are really important things for us to remember and like keep with us for the rest of our
Yes.
life. And I think that's one of the reasons why it was like it's such a resonant phrase that people
Mhm.
really caught on to. It's just
Mhm.
like it's so important no matter what to keep those three things in
Mhm.
with us. So.
Yes, because with anything that happens in life, right? We all
Mm-hmm.
have up and down. Something may happen in a job, something
Yeah.
may happen in your family, and you come sit on your desk and you look and say, okay, you know what? It's okay.
Right.
You can always just be kind, be calm. It'll be okay.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. And then do you want to
yeah.
say?
And also, after you finish painting your rock with the color, these are the paint markers that I used to
Oh
write the
yeah.
kindly kindly save message, and also the little doodles I also draw on the side as well. And these are acrylic paint markers. These are I got them from Amazon. Um, it's the medium tip one, and
Right.
it yeah they have all the colors you can think of.
Oh
So
great.
yeah, and yeah, and I and
And the
also
last one.
after you finish writing with the paint markers, and after it dries, you use the sealer for the
Right.
rocks, which is Mod Podge.
Uh-huh.
And, it just makes your rock look nice and shiny, like
Yeah.
um like here it's like a little kind of like shiny you can see here.
Right. Right. And
And
it holds in the writing so it won't smudge or
Yeah.
yes,
And
yeah.
we have a lot of rocks outside on our front yard that we've kept a lot of them. And with all the rain, it's still the same.
Oh
yeah,
well.
Yeah, so it
I
didn't.
imagine your front yard is just like full of color and
Yes,
painted rocks.
yeah. We put them there for people if they want to pick them,
Uh-huh.
but I think people think you're not allowed, right?
Oh yeah,
So we push them a little bit in the front in the summer,
right.
and then just put a little sign there, please help yourself. So there was
Oh,
people
nice.
who would take some, yeah.
Right. Well, thank you so much, you two, for joining us today on RBCM at Home Kids, but more importantly, for just doing such an important work. Rubina, for raising such an amazing kid,
Thank you.
and for Insiyah for being an amazing kid and supporting so much of both the youngest among us and the oldest among us. So, so thank you both so much. And thanks everyone for joining in today. And I hope that you feel inspired to make your own rocks. And I did put the link to Insiyah's site. So if you feel inspired to donate as well to the effort, then please do that also. And also wherever you are, just think about how you can make a difference in your community and what kind of volunteering or what kind of help you could do for other people. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Thank you very much for having me today and giving me an opportunity to pass this amazing message and of volunteering and to be benefiting the community. And
Oh,
everyone be kindly be calm and be safe, and we will get through this together.
perfect way to end. All right. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Take care.
Bye.